All right, so what should Trump do in the next 7 days before he leaves? He's in Texas today, so we don't count this. So it's a week, right? Number one, he should write a speech with his top speech guys to deliver it on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, next Monday, in a very conciliatory, direct speaking to his voters, all 74 million of them, and say, I am humbled to have been president. I think I did a good job for the country. Maybe you tick off a few things, but don't go crazy. But just basically say it was such an honor to serve you. And I hope that this country prospers. I wouldn't say anything about the election. I wouldn't say anything about the assault on the Capitol. I wouldn't say anything like that. Just very sincere, very short. I'd say good things about Martin Luther King Jr., who was a hero, not a perfect man. I read about that in Killing Kennedy. You want to know about Martin Luther King Jr.? That's the book you read. But a hero, no doubt. And that's what I would do. I would deliver a speech. The networks won't take it, but that's all right. Enough people will take it, and it'll get out. But I would do, we're a strong country. We'll get through this, that kind of thing. Second thing to do is I'd pardon anybody that I believe is in danger or that has not been treated fairly. But there will be Pelosi and the crew and some district attorneys and attorneys general will go after some of the Trump people. And I pardoned as many as I could in advance. Rudy Giuliani. All right, there's one right there. Would I pardon myself if I were Donald Trump? Now, that is a fascinating, fascinating question, isn't it? If you pardon yourself, you're basically saying, hey, I know they're going to come after me. It's not an admission of guilt, but it puts you in a position of weakness. Would I do it? Yes, I would. I would pardon myself if I were Donald Trump. Now, will it hold? Okay, so we researched, and nobody really knows because the president has never done this. All right, Nixon didn't do it. Nixon knew that he was in serious trouble. He did not self-pardon. All right, but we looked into, he debated it. Nixon debated it with his people, and the conclusion was that under the fundamental rule that no one may judge his own case, okay, that President Nixon should not pardon himself. There's a fundamental rule of law that you can't judge yourself. All right, but that's an opinion. It isn't a law. Jonathan Turley, who is emerging in this country as a sane voice in legal areas, he says, quote, Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution defines pardon power as allowing a president to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. So he can't get involved with impeachment. Turley continues, quote, there is no language specifying who may or may not be the subject of a pardon. The president is simply giving the power to pardon any federal crime. As a textual matter, there's nothing, Turley says, to prevent Trump from adding his own name to the list of pardoned individuals. That's where I would go if I were Donald Trump. Now, they'll still try, but it goes to the Supreme Court, ultimately. And the court, I think, would rule in Trump's favor here. Well, Joe Biden is going to be president, and we may be in for some economic uncertainty. That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. The only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold. So please call them right now and tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Now, since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself up over 40%, silver up over 60%. So don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.